thing. We have an opportunity now to speak with Joe Monroe with IDOT to give us an idea of what we're seeing. And Joe, first of all, thank you for joining us. One of the problems we're seeing right now in that area is that the roads are impassable. Just how bad is it as far as the widespread non-usage of the roads?
Well, unfortunately, we've actually had to cascade our detour. So in the immediate Nashville area, 127 is closed, 15 is closed, and 177 is closed. So if you can avoid traveling in that area, it would certainly help the first responders. We are actually moving back where we're closing everything to give the evacuation time to move forward. We've worked with both the city and the county, and we're basically providing support. They continue to ask us to actually move back where we have our closures to allow them to work. It's a minute by minute change, making sure that we're not in their way, but also keeping everyone else safe and at an arm's length distance so the actual folks in the community can do their work as quickly and safely as possible.
So, sir, if people are trying to evacuate, what is the best route for them to take at this time? Is there a good route?
Well, fortunately, the Facebook post from the emergency management out of Nashville actually has a corridor of where the flooding is going to go. You can get away, but the one thing that's not on that updated Facebook post is if you're familiar with the Dollar General on 127 north of 15, it's on the east side of the road. Nashville Creek actually comes up, and this is what we were afraid of. When the reservoir's overtopping, it's actually stopping the flow of that creek, and all the runoff essentially upstream from the north and west is hammering into that overflow from the reservoir. It's actually backing up onto 127. So that route up north to I-64 is not available. You can get south of town and you can get west of town on 15. So if you're south of the Dollar General, you can get through south on 127, and you can go east and west on 15, just not in the cone of failure from the reservoir. But they are working on, to my knowledge, have already worked with the folks that are in the path of the overtopping of the reservoir and got the immediate folks out. So now it just be as the flooding expands. I apologize.
Oh, no, you're busy, sir.
That's actually the field engineer for the area giving me an update. So the efforts from past events have helped. They do have the influence of the cone. The only thing that has, I guess, changed in the last 15 minutes is Nashville Creek has started to back up across 127, which is cutting off some of the area. But we were prepared for that. That's something we were concerned with the last time the reservoir overtopped. Right now, avoid the Nashville area. I hate saying that, but let's give the first responders and the community time to respond and seek shelter. And we're also bringing in additional emergency response equipment and resources, allow those folks and that equipment to get into the area, please.
Joe, just how bad did things get back in 2022 when you had a similar situation?
This is much different. In fact, when we were discussing it and working with the police and the emergency management, by the time we got there, the sun was out. So we're actually really concerned about this situation. And while I was kind of in the vestibule or waiting to come on, I noticed that your forecaster kept mentioning training. I actually have the radar up on one of my computer screens, and we're starting to get concerned. So we're working through IEMA to make sure that we aren't missing anything. So this is a much different situation. You have an active storm. The last time this happened, it was at the tail end of the storm. By the time we were bringing resources in, the storm was passing. You could actually see the end of the storm. So I don't even want to equate the two because there was a little sigh of relief last time. We did not close 127 at the Dollar General the last time. We were prepared to, but it didn't come to that. So we're already, this is worse, and the storm is still unfolding. So a very serious situation. Normally, I try not to use hyperbole or tell people they can't go somewhere. In this case, please listen to all the emergency advice. If you can avoid the Nashville area, please do so. If you need help, reach out to the police or emergency management. Facebook is your friend in this case. Do exactly what the emergency responders in that area ask you to do, please.
Joe, we've been talking about the area. We have a diagram and everything like that, but most of the people watching us probably have never been down around the Nashville area to really understand the scope of the size. Miles wise, can you give it an idea of just how big this area is?
It's probably a 3 to 4 square mile area at the moment. The concern is with that creek backing up. The creek actually winds through, and we have other creeks in the area that are already impacting roadways. So the fear of actually trapping people is real. So that's like this is not the time to go sightseeing. This isn't a slow river flood that you can drive up and see exactly where the floodwaters are. This is a developing, unfolding situation. You stay away. So at the moment, I would say you're at probably a 4 square mile area. I wouldn't be shocked if that doesn't grow, given the forecast I just heard and all of the phone calls and texts I'm receiving at the moment. So again, this is about as serious as it gets for this area of Washington County.
Okay, and sir, and again, we want to, get you on your way, but really quickly, when you are bringing in resources, when you're able to do that, what does that look like? Is it sandbags, or can you give us an idea of what you're trying to do when you get a chance to actually get in and bring in those resources?
Right now, we're bringing in barricades and we're bringing in staff to actually help. Right. When it first happens, the police try to handle it. They do a fantastic job. Well, now they have another task that's more important. We're trying to replace the police and then basically create a barrier to allow the community to either receive some assistance or evacuate. At this moment, I'd say mostly evacuate, but I'm not on the ground there, so that's just speculation. I want to be clear. Once we see some water receding, which we hope we will see, then it's trying to get people back into their homes, check on pets and animals. We'll be bringing in resources, and we want to stage those so we can respond as quickly as possible. So you're looking at backhoes, loaders, anything that would clean up debris. So we are trying to stage those as we speak, because hopefully, as the storm's actually working slightly out of the area, we want to be coming behind it and try to restore normalcy as quickly as possible. So while I'm responding to you in a very in the moment, we're actually trying to plan how do we unwind this without taking our eye off the ball, is how much worse can it get. So we're trying to do both things at the same time.
Well, Joe, I want to thank you so much for giving your time. I know it's a very stressful situation, a very right now situation. So you've got a lot going on down there. Once again, thank you for helping us inform the people of the dangers in that area.